Welcome on in. It is a Saturday morning right here, all across the great country of America in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, broadcasting live, the most electrifying show of all time. You know what it is. It's the Barbershop in the building. Yeah. We ready to go today, man. Obviously, the news that has broken all around the stratosphere. Shedeur Sanders is now the number 2 quarterback. And boy, oh boy, did my phone just start exploding and going off. G. Bush, did you see the news? G. Bush is a breaking news. G. Bush, did you see this? G. Bush, did you see that? G. Bush, yeah, I seen it. We seen it. But you see the bottom line. What I've been talking about all the time here in the barbershop, we ain't satisfied. What are you talking about? What are we talking about? Why would you be excited about this? I'm not saying that it's not a promotion, but what I'm telling you is this is what was expected. This is what should have been expected. And a lot of people understood, like, okay, so you're going to play Bailey Zappi? Go ahead. But when we get back and we set this thing off, I'm going to let y'all know why G. Bush and most of the people I know that talk with Shedeur Sanders, we're not taking no victory laps on this. Because number 2 was never what it was supposed to be. Number 2 is just, okay, I'm a backup quarterback. I'm competent. I'm doing my job. It's nothing to be doing no victory laps over on the internet. And this was a difference between my expectation level and other people's expectation level when you do not play narrative-based content. We'll come back and talk about it right here on the Barbershop. Yes, G. Bush back at it again. Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, coming up from, I almost said Three River Stadium. But live from Pittsburgh. I'm a little old school. They take on the Steelers, and if you haven't known, this has been a house of horrors for the Cleveland Browns. We'll kind of get into that a little bit later. But first and foremost, I want to start the show off with one thing. And I want to be sincere and serious about this. And I want to start it off on the right foot, in the right tone. I've always said on these airwaves, and when I'm talking here, you don't have to hate on one man to give another man to big up somebody else. You don't have to hate on Dylan Gabriel. You don't have to wish things on Dylan Gabriel, or you don't have to be a Dylan Gabriel hater to say that you still have some sort of faith that Shedeur Sanders can be somebody. This is out of pocket. This out of pocket. Like, I don't know who these folks is. I don't know who these folks is. This is trash at the top, the highest levels. Trash at the highest levels. And they got a problem with it. They can hunt me out and talk to me, and we'll have a conversation. But there's no room for none of this type of language in the fandom. There's no room for this nowhere. None. This is the thing that I don't like with narrative-based content, because I know what you're doing. You take the fact that Shedeur Sanders is the number 2 quarterback, and a lot of other people said it should be Bailey Zappi and gave a lot of different reasons as to why he shouldn't be the quarterback. The Browns named him the starting quarterback, and now you want to throw this out here as some backhanded, sly little subliminal diss, saying, oh, well, all of those people that thought Shedeur was so good, and are you now, since he's the number 2 quarterback, now do you want to see quarterback Dylan Gabriel get hurt Sunday? Reply, this is the crap I be talking about, man. This is why 9 times out of 10, this is why 9 times out of 10, I don't like people that come with that narrative-based stuff, because what they trying to do is they trying to paint people against each other, where if you say you like Shedeur Sanders, they're going to take the extra mile. Remember what I told y'all? I told y'all, the closer and closer that Shedeur gets to the field or gets to a place, people start crashing out. Remember, I said it's going to get more and more disrespectful. It's about to get more and more disrespectful week after week. Now it's to the point where you asking a rhetorical question. Now do you want Dillon Gabriel to get hurt? What kind of work is this, man? Look, man, I can't. Sometimes, I got this job and I hate it. I hate it. I don't like being around people who do stuff like this, bro. I don't want to be around this conversation where I got into this thing because I wanted to talk about football. I wanted to talk about life. And I was the one who, and if you don't know, I was the one who was like, how is it in this country and how is it in the Cleveland Browns fandom this is allowed? Last year when Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles heel, we had people cheering in the stadium. Cheering. Clapping it up. For whatever, if you don't agree with a person or you don't, listen, you don't never want to see no other man's demise, bro. I don't want to see nobody get killed. I don't want to see nobody go to jail. I should say unalived because I don't want to get demonetized. I'm sorry. But I don't want nothing bad to happen to people so that I can push what I'm pushing. Here's what we wanted from the get-go. And I don't like where it's trying to go because you're trying to paint a whole group of people in a corner, whereas, if you supported Shedeur Sanders, they're in some sort of cult. Now the next step is let's make it like they want the Dillon Gabriel to be hurt. Come on, man. We know what you're doing. And look how many views it get, 269,000. Because there's a segment of the population that is already ready to start flipping out because it's not going the way that they thought it was going to go. So what I wanted to do is I want to come in and get to that off bat. I need to get to that off top. Because that's weird work. It's corny. It's childish. And some of these grown folks that be sitting at the house in their basement that be putting this stuff up. That ain't Cleveland sports talk. That ain't sports talk. That's garbage, bro. I seen that this morning. That got me immediately hot. Like, are you gonna sit up here and but then again, that's how we living. No morals, no scruples, no code of conduct, no nothing. You got a bunch of adults walking around running here like they're little kids. It's worse than the kids in school now. Y'all got kids and parents and paying taxes and running around on the internet, putting up questions and carrying on like that. That's wild work, man. It make me not even be wanting to even talk this. It make you not even be, sometimes we want to do this. Because Dillon Gabriel ain't did nothing to nobody. He said the right stuff. He ain't went after nobody. His family respect him. The whole island is rocking with him. He got the same color uniform on as the uniform that you root for, supposedly. But yet and still, you want to divide and conquer. The same way I don't play the Deshaun Watson divide and conquer. Oh, well, let's put Shedeur versus Deshaun. Well, there's two black quarterbacks. Let's make them fight it out for the second job. We're not about to do that. These dudes is on your team and on your roster. And what I'm not going to do is let people put words in your mouth and try to paint these narratives like all of this is going to be this, that, and the third, and you guys are doing this, and you guys are out of pocket, and this whole, get up out of here. It's not working. As long as I got breath, it's not working. So we got off on a little rough foot, pardon me, but I just can't roll with that. Don't come over here with that. Y'all be pushing that little stuff over here like we don't see it coming from a mile away. You trying to serve people red meat. See what happens? Move him to number 2, and now they want him to be injured. Is that what you want? Shut up. Y'all ain't even that smart. You not that smart for you to be trying to pull these three-dimensional chess and checkers moves. You're not that smart. We know what you be doing. Stop it. We're cutting all of that out before you even get there. Same reason we start off with the same situation. Joseph Jack, thank you for becoming a member. Same reason we come out with this situation. And I'm glad Shedeur Sanders been putting cold water on everything moving. Speaking of, everything that you talked about, let me bring my temperature down because I don't want to seem like I'm excited. Because like I said, I'm not excited. From a football standpoint, this was obvious. Bailey Zappi has never been better than Shedeur Sanders. So when people say they should have played Bailey Zappi, I'm not going to sit up here and argue with you. Put him out there then if that's what you're going to do. But when you're a person that keeps elevating the anybody but Shedeur conversation, first it was your boy Kenny Pickett. Then it was Flacco. Then it was, we got to put Zappi. And then Deshaun Watson coming back tomorrow. He about to be playing over him too. Bro, you telling on yourself. I didn't have to do it. You ain't going to set me up to act like I'm just out here hating doing it. I didn't have to say nothing. All I said is if you go watch the tape and you've watched him in college and you saw what he did in the preseason, it's no logical reason why you would even bring somebody off the practice squad and play him over Shedeur Sanders. But yet still, the preemptive narrative conversation was just everywhere. And let me ask y'all, and I'm not taking no victory laps, because backup quarterback ain't a victory lap. That's just a protocol. So, I'm supposed to be happy that he's able to competently call a play in the huddle and throw the football, which we all know he could, and be a supportive guy to his teammates. We all know that what it was. See, but that's the problem with narratives. They fall down quickly when it turns out not to be true. The blatant character assassination for the last 5 or 6 months turned out not to be true. Now, as we listen and keep going down the rabbit hole, you said it was all these other players, and one by one, those players were removed out of this situation, and now we're staying with Shedeur Sanders. Now what are you going to say? Find something. You ain't got to make me the villain. I'm the only one who told you from Jump Street. 21 Jump Street. When everybody was saying it was Zappi, who said y'all crazy? Y'all done lost your mind. You talk about huh? I lost your mind. And the reality is, what you see and what people, I say it, what people see, what they write, what they report, all that stuff they do, it'll never trump what happens for real in the locker room. Because when everybody was out saying, these people say I got sources and this and that, you know how many people reached out to me? Team, like players, not regular players, not like running down on the kickoff, special team guys. I mean, guys with names that said, listen, we see how you talk. And let me tell you, there are people in here that believe Shedeur Sanders can be a franchise quarterback, and we know and see and appreciate the work he puts in, specifically in the offseason when he was throwing the trash cans and support staff. We saw that. And these are players. So I don't really do this. I don't really do the what's the name game. I don't play the This is my sources game. Because what I like to say is my opinion is my opinion. I'm going to stand on it because I've either done the research, I put the time, energy, and effort to saying what I'm saying, and I'm doing what I'm saying that I really actually feel. So I don't need nobody else to validate what I'm saying if I've already done my homework on the job and I feel conviction about what I'm saying. So for me, I don't bring up no sources. But let's just be clear. Let's not underestimate the back pocket. I just ain't loud about it. Sometimes you got to move in silence. Sometimes you got to pull the trump card out. You ain't got to talk loud if you got the big joker. You ain't got to talk loud if you got the joker, and the deuce. And on top of that, I ain't got no clubs in my hand. We walking, all my slaves people, let me know if you know. This is why y'all tune in. If you know, you know. I ain't even got no clubs in my hand. I'm cutting everything. I'm unbothered. But I got multiple people that came out, rest assured, last week. What up, Clint? Rest assured last week. That said, okay. Yeah, just a little something a little birdie told me. So that's why when I go on these platforms, I'll be like, listen, I'm cool. Say what you gonna say. But I'm the one who told you all along the people that was trotting out there wasn't gonna work. And by the way, I'm saying this don't matter. It don't even matter of what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is basically that we just looking for opportunity. This was the most. This was the terrible. This was terrible. That we were sitting here just saying, look, bro, you guys don't even want to give him an opportunity to show and prove. Ain't no guarantee that he come out there the first game and throw for 500 yards. Ain't no guarantee he do it the second or the third game. But what people were saying is you guys are doing mental gymnastics and doing backflips just to not give the opportunity, that's the corny part. You're making up so many excuses. Y'all got to a point, y'all ran out of excuses. Just get rid of them. You just get rid of them. Well, that's what you've been wanting to say from Jump Street. You acted like you was an honest broker. You acted like you was taking all the things into account. You acted like you saw the merits and you were just playing, you was calling balls and strikes. No, you weren't. You did what you needed to do to kick the can down the road until it looked like there's no more excuses that are lined up for us. So now we're just going to say, you know what? It's time for him to go. He shouldn't even be on the team. Really? Really? Because you always felt that all along. That's what you felt. I've always said it. If I would respect you if you just came out and said, listen, I don't like his attitude. I don't identify with him. I don't like he's flashy. I don't like the fact that he plays with an exuberance, or he's self-confident, or he jokes around. I don't like this. I would rather you come out and just say, I just don't like it, rather than you acting like you trying to be an honest broker. You're not. You saying what you always wanted to say. And that is why we call out the crash outs. People crash out and start getting aggressive and over the top and loud and name calling and borderline disrespectful, because everything that you tried hasn't worked. And now we are here where I told you it would be. We are here where I told you we would be. and that is competition. And Shedeur Sanders is learning. He's learning on the job. Look at this. He get real savvy right here. Right? Here we go. Remember I told you? I said, Shedeur, don't you let them folks trick you out of your position. Under no circumstances. Sometimes I'm like, nah, don't even say nothing. And by the way, give him the regular degular. Give him that milquetoast conversation. But let me show you how he debunks the theory that, oh, he's not supporting his teammates. This is how you kill people with the strategy.
Anytime players, that I came in with and that I spent a lot of time with, they get moved up and they're able to have a vital role in this offense and this piece, I get extremely excited for, and I'm playing through them. You know what I mean? I'm excited just as them every time they get out there and run a route and everything, because it's just amazing that, you start somewhere and then you're able to evolve and get to a different level and go out there and actually be able to execute it. Just like Dylan, like whenever he got moved up to QB1, I'm like, that's lit, bro. You got to make sure you handle everything the right way and, just continue being him. So, like for me, overall, I'm just happy. I'm excited that everybody is living their dreams, and I'm living my dream also. Come every day and be able to work.
There you go. Run that. Run that on a loop. Like I said, hey, we going into Pittsburgh to try to get us a game. Say no victory lap. This is what we were supposed to be doing. We're going to support one another. When Dylan was the first team quarterback, we're going to do everything we can do to get him starting. We want you to be him. We want you to do that. Whatever you need, bro, I'm there. That's all we need. But I'm still going to be able to have confidence in myself. I'm still going to be able to have confidence in what I want to do and my confidence as a person and as a human being and my skill set. That's what we're going to do. So you tell on yourself when you're talking about this, it's some sort of cult. You tell it on yourself. You don't have no critical thinking. You small-minded. Listen, you don't even understand something, bro. We on a different frequency. I ain't seeing none of that. If you feel like you can't understand that he's sitting there, he's like, yo, I'm just happy to be out here being a part of any offense. I came in with Dylan Gabriel. But the real thing is, this says more about you than it says about him. Right? It said more about you than him. I don't understand what I've always said from Jump Street. This is where we wanted to go. This is where we wanted to go. We always wanted to see, when y'all drafted him, all right, let's see who the best quarterback is. If you liked him, let's go. Let's get that competition, right? But y'all threw all the rest of the stuff in the game. Before anybody got here, you started talking about circuses. The only circus is going on is in your own mind. The only circus you talk about, why do I have to talk about him? Why do I have to? When you start saying, why do I have to talk about somebody? What the heck do you think your job is? Ain't that what you get paid to do? You get paid to cover the Cleveland Browns and everybody on the Cleveland Browns. When people sit there and tell you, why do I have to talk about a 5th round draft pick? They done already told everything that needs to be said. You done said enough right then. The level of arrogance that involves you telling somebody, and we ain't playing, that you feel aggrieved that your world-class knowledge and analysis is being wasted on a fifth-round pick. Ain't nothing you said groundbreaking. Ain't nothing you said is even in depth. Ain't nothing you even said was specific. Ain't nothing you said was moving, motivating, or earth-shattering. But yet and still, you scoff that you get paid to come talk about a quarterback that the Cleveland Browns think can possibly be a quarterback to help you win football games. You don't need to Duke a knee jerk. You don't need G. Bush to say nothing. You said it right there. When have you ever heard me talk about, why do I have to talk about a fifth-round lineman? No. What I do is I get busy and see if he can play. I want to see if you're a diamond in the rough. I want to base it on the merits. Barry Hickerson, that coffee right here. You know what it is. Early in the morning, 4,136 people in here. Let's keep it cooking. Early. I'm not talking about fifth round and third round. That's who cares? Did I believe Dylan Gabriel was worthy of a third round pick when I've drafted him in the third round? No, I wouldn't have. But guess what? I didn't draft him, and it ain't my decision. My goal, and as an analyst, as a person, once you get drafted, that's water under the bridge. Now it's time to figure out if you can play or not. And how I'm going to say whether you play or not is how you put that on the field together, how you put it together. I told y'all before, it's levels to it. Levels to it. You see this? I'm not up here rapping and tapping. Like I'm just going to play it how it go. And a lot of people could have played this how it went. Could have played this how it went. Charles C. says Jackson Dart is too flashy for Stefanski, and he takes risks. Kevin wants an old, robotic, unemotional quarterback. Well, let me tell you something. It's a great way to segue this. Oh, change is coming. I'm going to tell you why in a second. But first and foremost, I'm not in no hurry. Let me tell you this. People acting like I'm going to sit up here and just because Shedeur Sanders, that's another trap. Just because Shedeur Sanders is the number 2 quarterback, what you thought you was going to tune in and hit me with the, I got you, G. Bush. You thought you was going to tune in and hear me say they need to replace Dylan Gabriel at halftime at a Pittsburgh game if he playing bad? No. Again, you misunderstand what we need to be talking about. Huh? I want Dylan Gabriel to play and show or prove he is either worthy or not worthy of that position. And the only way to see whether you're worthy or not worthy of that position is for him to play. As you can see, unlike the rest of you, I advocate the same thing across the board. I don't write articles and do blogs saying that, oh, he shouldn't even get a chance. I don't do that. As a matter of fact, pull up. I want to see it. I ain't taking you out this game. I ain't taking you out unless you get, and God forbid, unless it's due to injury. Kevin Stefanski, and I'm right with Jonathan Peterlin when he says this. Kevin Stefanski is going to get an opportunity to show he was correct. You see, now we are done with all of the charades. Now we get down to the nitty-gritty. Did you pick the right quarterback? A, can you develop the quarterback that even you got correctly? Can you develop them? Right? Can you develop them? And C, can you hold your own part? Can you hold your part of the bargain by coming up with a creative game plan that accentuates the strengths of said quarterback? Three-pronged thing. And I'm not for giving you no excuses. If Dillon Gabriel don't get it done and don't cut it, I want there to be a body of work. So I can say, there it is. That's your body of work. I will identify and base it on that. But what you're not going to do is get me to come up here and prematurely be like, oh, no, take him, get him out of here. Now it's time for Shedeur. No. When Shedeur get a chance to play, he going to get that same runway. That same runway. Why you think when Dillon played last week, we go over the film work. I point out all the good throws he threw. He had 3 great throws. People in the membership know. Tuesday nights, if you want to be a part, pull up. 7 p.m. They'll tell you. All the members, when we'll review, you're going to get the good, you're going to get the bad and the ugly. I wasn't skimming through plays looking for bad throws. As a matter of fact, I spend time detail on all of them. So, the grace that I'm giving rookie quarterback Dillon Gabriel is what I'm going to be quick to advocate for when Shedeur Sanders gets into the football game at a certain point in the season, if that happens. The difference between me and you is I'm not going to sully my reputation by just saying crazy stuff. But so I like what Jonathan Peterlin says right here. I like it.
Start to finish on Sunday. That's got to be the goal. If everything goes right, Dillon Gabriel plays start to finish on Sunday. That's got to be the goal. The goal is for Dillon Gabriel to be the only quarterback that you see. It was funny what you said like earlier last segment. It's like, oh, another wrinkle in there where you got Shedeur, and I'm like, I don't think Shedeur is going to see the field at all. And so I've made my watching for this week and really until the foreseeable future around the idea that Dillon Gabriel is the starting quarterback, and that is what it is.
Is that setting the expectations low so that if it happens, you can then just be excited?
No, I'm going to give Dillon Gabriel the chance to win the job, and I'm going to give Stefanski the chance to prove us why he thinks he's right in this scenario. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's right. I think Shedeur's a better quarterback than Dillon Gabriel. I've been vocal about that, but like the bet that Shedeur has made is that Dillon's the better quarterback. I'm going to give Stefanski the chance to go ahead and prove me wrong and show me that he's right.
There it is. Peterlin, you cooking on this one. You cooking. That's right where it's supposed to be. That's right in the wheelhouse. Show me. By the way, that's the only thing. Like, this is crazy. It feel like it's pulling teeth to get people to say, give me the shot to prove myself. Like the fact that people is even telling you and trying to act like you should be thankful for getting a shot to prove yourself is wild. Like, prove it. Perry TD Chatham says, correct. Let Dillon create a body of work for evaluation for Kevin Stefanski coaching grade. There it is. But somehow I'm delusional. Why? Because you show me show me what line I was out here saying Dillon Gabriel should be sitting down today. What line have I ever said besides let him play it out? But people was breaking their necks, not even to give a person an opportunity. The same argument they use for Dillon Gabriel getting a chance to prove himself is the same exact argument they use against giving Shedeur Sanders an opportunity. It's crazy. It's wild. Let him play. Talk your stuff, Peterlin. Shout out, this is courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. Make sure you go check out Peterlin and Nick Wilson Afternoon Drive.
It does need to show progress, by the way. But the number one thing is, to the idea of Dillon could feel any more heat because Shedeur's behind him. I'm sure there's probably part of that because it's the NFL, and I think Dylan is very cognizant of how Shedeur is viewed. The faithful Shedeur fans, dude. I'm sorry, just win the damn games.
You got to win the games.
You win the damn games, and
but
everything else is negotiable.
Yeah, but the part I want to speak on though that it just kind of bothers me a little bit. And it might surprise you is the idea that I want Dylan. Once you went with him, I want him to have an actual opportunity. Like, I think it's miserable if in 2 games you're just like, Dylan Gabriel stinks, Dylan Gabriel can't play. We obviously know that this isn't good, especially after week 1, which was not a bad week by any stretch of the measure. Nope. And then you just wave the white flag on the young man's career. Like, any other rookie would get more than 2 games to try to prove themselves, 2 or even 3 games to try to prove themselves. Most rookies get a long, long runway before anyone declares one thing or another. But in the situation the Browns have put themselves in, it almost feels like it's inevitable that the moment that Dylan Gabriel starts to, stumble a little bit, he's not going to have that same runway that, honestly, if the roles were reversed and it was Shedeur, I would want for Shedeur.
Eloquent. That's one, you know what? I'll be giving, sometimes you got to give props. I'm one of them people. I'm really one of those people that I'm like, dang. I wish I'd have thought about that. I wish I'd have had that take. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. Yoshi Doshi says, nobody should have to earn a chance to earn a chance. Now, I like that too. You got to earn the chance to earn the chance. G-Bush, do you think they picked Shedeur? Who picked Shedeur, Barry or Haslam? Both. You guys are way too smart. You guys are have you been looking at my rundown? Have you guys been looking at my notes for the show? I don't have notes, by the way. But are you in my head? You guys are leading me to the water here. One last thing. Cleveland Browns have named Shedeur Sanders their backup quarterback. Browns quarterback receives massive promotion ahead of Steelers game. This ain't no massive promotion. Shedeur Sanders said that if you want his go, and he has to go out and do it. You got to go out there and do it. But Shedeur Sanders is not happy with being a backup. Coach Prime ain't happy with him being a backup. That's the role he in right now, and we're going to respect what it is. You're going to do what it is when he's a team player, but at the end of the day, if you call yourself legendary, nobody aspires to be the backup. It's the same reason he said, hey, listen, I don't want to sit behind Lamar Jackson. I want to beat Lamar Jackson. I can respect it. I want my show to be hot. You ain't going to give me a show, I'm going to go get me a show. I'm going to do it. I believe in what I can do. So the thought process that somebody is supposed to be jumping up and down and everybody that support Shedeur Sanders is wow, we done made it. We done made it now. We actually get to hold the clipboard. And the reason why people are saying it's such a massive promotion is because, frankly, you lied on them. Let's call a spade a spade. You lied on them. You lied on them during the draft process. You lied. You made things up. And then you got mad when people called you in those made up lies. Or you co-signed the lies. Or by not even standing up and being like, come on, guys, that sounds like hearsay. But you rode with it, and you had it to a point where you had the real public actually believing that this dude couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. That he's been here for 5 months. You telling me he been here 5 months. 5 months. And he can't read the playbook, this rudimentary playbook? Alfonso, he one of the members. I told you I was going to give you credit for this. Another person that said something, I said, dang, that was cold. He said, G. Bush, Shedeur Sanders has been here for 5 months. OTAs, rookie mini camps, 2-a-days, practice team, all the preseason, and just now. And these folks are still talking about he don't know the verbiage. How you be here 5 months and don't know no plays? They tried to erase, like, the crazy part about it is he tried to erase the whole game he played against the Panthers where he was dropping dimes, touchdowns. Like that didn't happen. We covered that on the channel too. What you mean that didn't happen? People do this with history where it's a thing called the internet, people. You acting like they acting like, I'm like, I could have swore it. They act like, here's the people that get it. You better stop telling on yourself. If Zach Wilson can play for BYU and be the number 2 overall quarterback, if Alex Smith can play at Utah and be the number 1 overall quarterback, if Ty Detmer can come from BYU and be a number 1, 2, 3 pick, why would you think that a person who threw for 4,000 plus yards and a 70% completion rating in a Power 5 school, he didn't play at OU like me, he didn't play at Bowling Green or Kent or Akron or Jacksonville State or Northeast Community College, the dude played in a Power 5 conference, the same conference that Arizona State went to the college football playoff from. Power 5, automatic bid. But yet and still, that was some community college that he went to. Wild work. So no one should be excited. No one should be. No one who thinks Shedeur Sanders is a good football player will fall into the line of, now you're going to tell us what we should be happy for. There you go. Now you can be happy and shut up. You got what you were asking for. We at least said he was competent enough to hold the clipboard. If you don't get up out of here, we're not going to play with you. This is why, G. Bush, you tell him it ain't for everybody. You be trying to let him know. You be trying to let him know. Moving right along. 4,897 people in here. Hit the like button for me. We appreciate every one of you members in the building. As you can see, all of our members, their stuff is flashing on the screen, right? We give members priority. Matthew Perry is one of them. They threw a bunch of scrubs in front of him to block for his last game, and they couldn't hold up. So now all of them are working at Walmart. Facts, you are correct. Woke up. What up, family? Happy Saturday from the AA. Joe McKnight. What's up, man? We appreciate you down there. All our members, priority membership. We put your stuff on the screen. We're going to show you love. We appreciate every one of you. Eric Bieniemy still being blackballed? I think he's still in that list. Yeah, he's still in there. He's there. Tanya, you speaking the truth. 5 wide receiver. No more narratives and excuses. Just play on the field. Titan 12. Let me get to my grand theory. Perry D. Chatham. When your coach Jason said that the Ram game, or Jay, that was Jay, not Jason, should have erased the Panthers game from our minds, I hollered. It wouldn't have been. So if you guys have been watching, this is why I like doing this show, because again, I like to make this show interactive. And one of my shows during the summer was talking about cognitive dissonance, right? In the great Orwell book, 1984. Or is it 1985? I always be messing it up for some reason. But they talk about how propaganda works on your mind. And what it does is it makes you second guess reality. So when somebody says something over and over and over and over again, we live as humans that need to have a connection, an understanding. And we need to seek acceptance from other human beings because we are a community type based people. We live for that interaction. So when a bunch of people say one thing, your natural tendency intrinsically as a human being, a Homo sapien, is to seek to conform to the norms, even if those norms are not part of reality. I laughed and I told, we went back and forth and I said, Jay, what you're asking me to do is to disregard something that I know I saw and happened. It's part of the record. But you're telling me, don't believe my lying eyes and just listen to the way you explain it away. Even if you say, by the way, he didn't turn the football over in the Rams game. Even if you say that wasn't his best body of work. We all saw what he did against the Panthers. But that doesn't count because your last game is what. No, life don't work like that. If I come to work and I come to work late today, but I've been on time the rest of my time, you can't bring me up on disciplinary actions because you said you're only good as your last tardy and you were late yesterday. So that makes you were late on Tuesday too. No, sir. That's not how it works. Either I was late on Tuesday and Wednesday, or I was just late today. All of this, well, that erases what happened. Again, you're telling on yourself, I don't have to do it. We are live. You are telling on yourself, my good sir, because you're saying that you're not basing what anything you're saying in reality, bro. That is crazy. I said, so when Dillon Gabriel had 2 turnovers, no knock against Dillon Gabriel because he's still a rookie, first game. When he had 2 turnovers against the Eagles, people was writing, oh, it's just a rookie mistake. It wasn't that bad. It was this, that, and the third. It was a bad game. But that game don't happen, and the only game you talk about is the drive with the Rams. So I said it's 1-1. One good game, one not so good one. Both of them had one. But we didn't anoint his game as one of the craziest games of all time. And we didn't downplay and strip the medals of somebody who threw pinpoint touchdowns that we all saw. But don't you believe your lying eyes? You believe what I tell you. I said that was nice, but you can't trick me. That don't you got to use that on some rookie somewhere. You're not gonna get me with that. We're seasoned. Let me get to this. The power shift in Berea has happened. For the first time, I truly believe Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski are not in complete step-for-step, lockstep in Berea. And it's actually quite obvious. Because if you look at the moves and the roster moves, they don't coincide with what the Cleveland Browns are doing. When you ask me who chose Shedeur Sanders, was it Barry or the owner? It's become very, very evident from the way I look at things and as I see. When you take a look at what the Cleveland Browns wanted to do, they started off on a trajectory where Kevin Stefanski was not enthralled with Shedeur Sanders. And the tea leaves point out why. Let me go ahead and get to that. Shedeur Sanders, if you go back, and I talked about this thing, if you go back, I said it on UCSS, there's a clip on the sideline where he's talking to Kenny Pickett. And Kenny Pickett is sitting there in street clothes, and Shedeur said, hey, if you see press coverage over there, you see press coverage, I'm going deep. Kenny Pickett is sitting over there with the solemn face. He said, hey, man, I'm trying to go deep, man. I'm trying to throw a deep ball. Kenny Pickett's like, hey, you gotta ask the coach. You gotta ask Kev about that. Not too many people caught that. Matter of fact, when I mentioned it on UCSS, they said, is that true? I said, all I got is time on my hands, fellas. Please believe that was true. They pulled it up. McNuggets pulled it up. Facts. They said, that's wild work. You see, Shedeur Sanders is one of them quarterbacks that when he on that football field, I see something. I got a feeling. Like he Justin Timberlake. I got a feeling that I'm about to throw this deep ball. I'm about to throw this deep ball. He like, I got to make a play. He got a feeling. Like, he's going to play free. He's going to play like what he see. And sometimes from a coach that prefers to play in a level of structure, some would say has training wheels on. Some would say not that imaginative. That's a scary thing. Because once he called that play, all bets are off. Because, yeah, I know what the read is supposed to be, but I saw something. And the crazy part about it is if he sees something and he's hitting those plays, all of a sudden, the control in what you want to do is now given to the Black Panther. The power of the Black Panther has been stripped away. You got a franchise quarterback. By the way, the Black Panther reference wasn't a racial thing. Calm down. We have to shut y'all down. Y'all be doing too much. Second of all, that's the problem he had with Baker Mayfield. That's the problem he had with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was running Kevin Stefanski's playbook because they was running boots and a bunch of other stuff. And Baker Mayfield said, I'm the number one pick. I feel like I can throw the ball in there. Why am I running this rudimentary run-first offense? Go back and check the receipts. They changed coordinators. They told Baker, we want you to work with a quarterback coach. Baker like, listen, I need to be throwing the ball downfield more. And Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield clashed like all get out. They did not like each other. They had philosophical differences. And Baker Mayfield wanted to play in the offense that he played with the Rams and the offense that he's playing in now. And I'm not going to lie, he's thriving in that offense. When Deshaun Watson got here, Deshaun Watson said, man, what this boot play action short stuff look like? I'm trying to throw the ball deep. That's what I do. Kevin Stefanski didn't like none of that. They bumped heads philosophically. So when you ask yourself, who would you rather choose to be the quarterback? Of course, you're going to choose somebody that fits with your ideology, with the way you see the game, with the way you go about calling a game. And Dillon Gabriel, he does that. But the problem is this. The Cleveland Browns have made an assessment that is not the way you can win football games. The Cleveland Browns have made the assessment that you can't dink and dunk your way down the football field. And the power has shifted. And the reason the power has shifted, like I said before, everybody wants to explain away why it is that Kevin's not going anywhere, why it is he's going to get a job next week. Why do you think that's a good argument? You think we care if he get a job somewhere else? I wish he get a job. I hope he's employed. Nobody fires an employee and that employee says, I'll get a job tomorrow. You're like, okay, that's cool. That's what's up. I'll give you a reference if you want. But we can't have you here though. Why is that's not a deterrent? You're deterrent. Like I'm trying to figure out, can you do the job here? What we asking you to do? And he's sitting here saying, okay, well, we gonna dink and dunk and this the playbook and this, that, and the third. But every quarterback, if they analytics driven, which they are, They know what the data looks like on what his offense looks like and the distribution of downfield targets. They know what he has a lack of separation at the receiver position. They understand all that. So when you want to sit here and say that he's good and everybody's coming back, you're not taking into account human nature. You're not taking into account that every time you lose games and you sit up there and say, I got to do better, I got to be better, I got to do better, and you've been doing that for 6 years, the more games you lose, the less credibility you have in the locker room, and more importantly, with the ownership and general manager. Because believe it or not, in this world, it's all, listen, it's every man for himself to a certain degree. Every man to a certain degree. One of the coldest things in the somebody said this, it was bone chilling. They said, but we don't care how long you've been married. When you stand before the Almighty God, you go by yourself. I was like, that was, oof. Your mama don't stand up and account. Your dad, your brother, your wife, you got to stand there yourself and stand on your own two and account for what you did in his life. That made me think whole different. I said, I got to get my life together. So you mean to tell me she can't help me out with that? She helped me out with the taxes. But God, she was there though. She was there. She was with me. I can't get a cosign from her. Hey, Rose. Hey, come on over here. Hey, listen. Let me explain real quick. Yeah, Rosie, go ahead and tell him. Nah, it don't work that way, dog. So if you sitting there telling me that Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski is in lockstep, you done lost your mind. You know why? Because Kevin didn't know nothing about the trade. If they must have let him know at the 10th hour. Because when he did that press conference, he was shaking. Because he finally came to the conclusion, oh, wow. Oh, so I ain't even in the inner circle no more. When was y'all deciding to move Flacco? When this come up? And he's smart. He's going to say, well, I said that because the Bengals reached out to us and we didn't call them about Flacco. That's what I meant, caught off guard. No. Second thing, no. We have never made a trade in the Cold War between the Bengals and the Browns since the great Paul Brown was fired by Art Modell and started the Cincinnati Bengals. And the Brown family still to this day is running that. We never made no trade. We came close a few times, but we haven't made a trade. They traded a captain. Joe Flacco was a captain. The guy you spent all preseason building up. They traded him to a division rival, and now you might have to play him at the end of the year. He said, y'all trying to make me look like a fool? What? Because the talk was this. Even if Dylan Gabriel, they made the switch. Even when they make the switch to Dylan, right? You always have Flacco as the stopgap. So they were preparing to play Dylan. If something happened with Dylan and he either get hurt or don't look good, they go back to Joe. He's the stopgap. Boom. He stops all that conversation. Boom. We're going back to him because Shedeur ain't ready. He ain't ready. Shedeur get 2 games at the end of the season. Cool. We ain't going to be evaluating them 2 games anyway like that. And we about to get this quarterback in 26. But guess what happened? Turns out there might not be no quarterback in 26. Turns out I had a quarterback saying 26. Our quarterback saying 26. Our quarterback saying 26, by the way. Our quarterback saying 26. Yeah. That. I had 2 analysts. Tyvis Powell, Big Ten Network, former Ohio State Buckeye, former pro. Dustin Fox, ESPN commentator, former Buckeye, former pro. They was on the show this week. They had the solemn look on. Faces was real mute. So what's going on, fellas? About them quarterbacks, unsolicited. They brought it up. I didn't say nothing. Yeah, man, ain't nothing in the college. What? Ain't nobody in college coming up here to save us. If they see it and they cover college football for a living, I mean, doing games, college games. You think the analytics department ain't told Jimmy the same thing? I ain't noticed Jimmy on no planes. I ain't noticed Jimmy on no planes going to Ohio State. We ain't seen the Browns brass on the sidelines. Oh, gee, Bush, that was just, they're good friends with the Mannings, and it just so happened it was Labor Day weekend, and no. Jimmy was pumped because they was telling him, they had been telling him, and everybody in the organization, his scouts was telling him, we got something. And they had to go back to Jimmy and say, looks like that promising class is a crapshoot, just like all other classes are, to be honest with you. Then the reality sets in that the Jacksonville Jaguars are 4-1. So that mythical double number top 5 pick you was going to get because the Jaguars was going to be trash is now looking like it's not so trash. That pick from the Jaguars you got might be in the 20s. Good luck getting a franchise quarterback in the 20s. By the way, they also told you Jackson Dart wasn't no good. I don't know if you watched it. I don't know if you've been watching these games. So now Jimmy is taking all of this into account. So you mean to tell me my quarterback ain't in 26? The number 1 pick you've been selling me on to get said quarterback and all these assets is not looking like a high first-round pick. And on top of that, we taking L's. And the kicker is, you're telling me you refuse as the coach to play the young 2 quarterbacks in lieu of playing and having people block a move with Joe Flacco or Kenny Pickett or Bailey Zappi. Oh, no. Oh, no. Andrew, come on down here. Hey, ask Joe where he want to go. We got something brewing. Bengals called you up. Boom. Bye-bye. And now your stopgap is gone completely. Gone. Now you put Kevin Stefanski in a predicament where he started off the season with 2 veterans ahead of him. And Jimmy and Andrew Bear said, oh no, I'm gonna see these quarterbacks one way or the other. And when you start to lose and you're losing games, you start to lose credibility in terms of saying, do you know what you talk about with quarterbacks? And by the way, your offense really not that good. So why should we be listening to you? Should we be listening to you talk about what you would like to see or what you want in the offense? It don't matter what you want. Why are we listening to this? And so Kevin Stefanski is in a position now where it's like, you can't just blanket statement and say, we're going to play this dude, not play this dude. We're going to play this dude, not this dude. You ain't got no time to waste, bro. Because what you're doing, and as we bring it back to the bottom of the map, is this. As I've always said, the evaluation is just not for rookie quarterbacks and rookies like Quinshon Judkins or Mason Graham or Carson Schlesinger or Isaiah Bond. That isn't the only time we talk about evaluations. The evaluation is staring squarely on the shoulders of Kevin Stefanski and whether or not he could get his team ready to go to play. He can stop committing stupid penalties. He can make sure he has proper time management at the end of football games. Can he get a quarterback in that don't say DTR telling you, I didn't even know I was playing until Saturday. And you almost messed this one up. I'm going to wait till Thursday to tell people. You waiting until Thursday to name a backup quarterback? That just goes to show me you overthink stuff too much. Get the people ready to play. The reports is Dillon Gabriel's on one field. The reports, multiple reports, Dillon Gabriel is on one field, getting all the reps, and you have Bailey Zappi and Shedeur Sanders on the very next field, and they're doing scout team reps. You essentially is trying to eliminate the backup quarterback role. We're in the week, man. If Dillon Gabriel go down and you got to put one of these dudes in, they ain't even getting reps. They don't. What are you doing? There is no advantage. There is no psychological game planning for you to do that. But you delay when you could have had guys ready. Like this is some earth-shattering move. Like the only team in the NFL that do this type of stuff is the Cleveland Browns, man. This don't be happening nowhere else. I'm going to make an announcement about the backup quarterback. Like this was even a questionable conversation. But then again, G. Bush, you're a clown. You're just super negative. You're negative. No, you can't fathom what I'm saying. Actually, to be truthful, I'm going to give you more credit to that. You understand exactly what I'm saying. You just don't like that it hits to the core. It hits right here. And you either have one or two ways. You can accept it or don't accept it. And I've always talked about it. When you are a fan, people is cool with you criticizing the team up to a certain point. But people are so wrapped up in it that their identity is wrapped in their fandom that if you criticize too much and you tell the truth too much, it actually feels like you talking about them. So they don't see me talk about Kevin Stefanski. They see me going to them and saying, why are you making me feel bad about something that I know to be true? That's why I'm sorry. It's okay. You can wear your colors. It's okay. I'm a diehard Browns fan. Okay, it's okay. It's okay to wear your colors, bro. All right, look, I'm not judging you. Some people just want entertainment. They just want to come, watch the game on Sunday, think of it as an entertainment. I'm going to support my team regardless. That's fine. Don't get mad. That's okay. Like I said, it ain't for everybody. You choose. But let me tell you this. In conclusion, before we get to the super chats, I'm not taking my eye off the ball. And what I mean by this, quarterback one, quarterback two, ain't about that. It's about what the Cleveland Browns going to do this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Cleveland Browns have not won in 21 years in Pittsburgh. 21 and counting in Pittsburgh. Besides the playoff win they got, where Kevin Stefanski wasn't there. They have not won in 21 years there. What I'm looking forward to is watching how the Cleveland Browns go about their work this week. And one of the things that I talked to Zach Jackson and we talked to everybody else is look at the boost that Cam Scatterboo and Jackson Dart have given the Giants. You could have that here, but you got to embrace it. You got to accept it. Can't be scared off by it. You could have that energy. The Giants drafted number 3 last year. You drafted number 2. Who was in a better position? Obviously, it looks like the Giants. So this week, when we go into this football game, let's not be fooled. let's not be fooled by what the goal is. Most people will say Shedeur Sanders is the number 2 quarterback. That's not what the headlines is this week. The headlines is this. What is Kevin Stefanski going to do to get his football team and his offense off the mat? And is he capable of doing it? All the Kevin Stefanski apologists, all the Kevin Stefanski's buddies, all of the people that give him the carte blanche pass and you want to rub his shoulders and it's the victimhood. Kevin was dealt this and Kevin was dealt that. No, Kevin gonna coach for his job. He said Dillon Gabriel was his guy. Now I want to see it work. We are now at the season where this is where we at. This is where we at. This is where we at. Let me see this. Watching the Browns just got real. We are finally getting to see high-level competition unfold. We are now getting to see leverage plays. Dillon Gabriel is going to have pressure. Kevin Stefanski's going to have pressure. And guess what? That locker room, it ain't all peaches and cream in there. I done heard from multiple people about them trading Greg Newsome and how Greg Newsome was beloved in the locker room, especially Denzel Ward. I'm like, dang, bro, it sounded like he was torn up about the situation. He was torn up about Greg Newsome. And then you get to it and you hear the article. You get to the article and it's like, wow. It's talking about him being torn up to the fact that he was crying. Crying, literally. He's like, I shed tears. When it's an article in Cleveland.com, I should have probably had it. Ward said he shed a tear. And when you get to a point with this team, it's a danger zone. Remember what I told you, because we'll be back here doing it. It's a danger zone. Because you don't want your locker room to feel like, okay, we just traded Joe Flacco. What are we doing? They got done telling us Kenny Pickett was the guy. What are we doing? Okay, Shedeur is about to, like, okay, they won't name Shedeur the second team quarterback. And then the very next day in the middle of the night, who trades the starting corner in the middle of the night? Even Jim Schwartz is like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And when you get to a point where that locker room starts to feel like we are being treated like numbers on a spreadsheet and the human factor doesn't resonate with you, guys will let go of that rope. I'm going to tell you that right now. And when you playing tug of war, the worst thing can happen is one of your dudes saying, I'm tired of pulling, and let that rope go. Because that tide goes just like this. And when you go into Pittsburgh and you got rookie quarterbacks and you already got people not catching the football and veterans is getting traded and you made the move to trade Greg Newsome because you weren't going to pay him next year, that's a morale thing. And the only thing keeping the team afloat right now is the fact that they got a dominant defense and Quinshon Judkins is out here running around with fresh legs. It's a dangerous proposition. I done seen many a coach go into Pittsburgh, get embarrassed, and never come out the same. I done seen many quarterbacks go into Colt McCoy. I done seen a lot of them go into Pittsburgh, not come out the same. So this is a game that a lot of people was like, maybe this is a close one. This is going to show me a lot about what's going on because the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't know if y'all knew, a lot of people knew in the Browns fandom, the Pittsburgh Steelers don't give a you-know-what about the Cleveland Browns. They are going to come in here for blood. So Kevin better be ready to go because I done seen a lot of situations where that locker room say, I can't stand no more. I'm done. And the last thing you want to do is this. Because the way the cap situation works is Denzel Ward just got a new deal. Myles Garrett just got a new deal. Right? They couldn't trade them folks if they wanted to. Deshaun Watson going to be on the roster. They couldn't trade him if he wanted to. That's a very dangerous proposition in the locker room for coaching staffs. You know why? Because they got long-term longevity. They'll be here after you. So if they start looking bad out here in these streets, they will march right up to that ivory tower and be like, listen, I don't like what's going on. And I'm going to tell you right now, these young dudes is impressionable down here. We playing young rookies, and we done lost faith in the coach and the coaching staff to get it done. When that happens, it's only a matter of time because they couldn't trade them if they wanted to. But you know what Myles Garrett could be doing? Yeah, Denzel Ward, I done pulled up on a hamstring. My hamstring a little tight today. All them little bumps and bruises that you work through, that you would work through, that all the hours that you would spend breaking down tape for Pittsburgh, instead of doing the 6 hours on your own, you're doing 3. Instead of that treatment that you're doing 4 hours after practice, you're getting a little ice bag on the way out. Instead of getting the proper rest you're supposed to be getting, you're kind of like, man, I'm gonna stay up and watch this Netflix. I gotta let my head wander a little bit. Dangerous proposition. Let's get to these super chats. Let's get to them. Let's get to your comments. We got a lot of them. We appreciate every one of you. We appreciate your time, energy, and effort. We appreciate your support. All the members, all the people in the chat. Listen, remember, I always tell people, you ain't got to feel obligated to super chat. You don't got to feel obligated. But I will appreciate every single person that does it. But if you can't super chat, don't feel away. You know how you can support the show? A simple like, man. Simple like and a simple comment below or comment in the chat. You know, that interaction is what we like to base the channel on. So, you know, a like and a comment in the bottom of the section is a beautiful thing for us. If you do want to become a member, it's a great opportunity to do so. We try to give out the most value we can. Don't ask me. Ask those that are members in the chat, is it a good value for you? We try to provide, and if it stopped being a good value, you can tell me. I ain't got no problem with it, and we'll figure something out. But we give you over an hour long. You know, all my blogs is an hour. We do an hour-long video review of every single game. In the offseason, if you want to know what's going on with the quarterbacks or who the Browns should draft, or they telling you all that good stuff, we're going to have college breakdowns as well. We're just going to show y'all how we working with it. I keep a screenshot just so the receipts. As you can see, these is all the college football games that I have access to. And it starts with this, just the A's and the B's. So if you want to know certain quarterback is good, the Browns about to take him, we're going to be breaking that down in the offseason. As you can see, we got Alabama, Arizona. This is so we really into it over here. We really go into that. We got that set on 7:00 p.m. every single Tuesday. We also give you a Wednesday night, 7:00, where we come in and we talk about various topics. And pretty soon, I'm going to throw out there, what do you guys want to talk about? We could talk about national topics. We could talk about things. We'll put a poll up. We can get into a lot of different things outside of, just sports in Cleveland. But whatever you guys want to talk about, we do that at 7. So you get those 2 members-only streams. You get, Shamai said, put it in the chat. I got a show called Top 5 with my brothers. Top 5 Worst Halloween Candies. It's a really funny show. Give it a try. Give it a watch. Bryson and Trent, we put a lot of hard work in that. We produced it ourselves. Also, you get the backstory of everything with my family, how I met my wife. I got a blog coming out with my little niece. She was on the stream the other day called Zara. So we got a lot of stuff that's giving you a wide variety of things. And obviously we're doing it with the barbershop. So if you're interested, the link is in the description. If you're interested, you can click under the link and hit join. And we appreciate everybody who has done so. Powers OG, we want 12. He's getting closer. He's getting closer. Kevin has never coached a win in Pittsburgh as a head coach. Medic 51. Thank you so much for the super chat. He ain't sniffed no wins out there. He sniffed no wins out there. Even a win in what's the name? Even a win in the playoffs, he wasn't there. That was Mike Prefer. He had COVID at the time. Miss Bell. I like this. You crazy, Miss Bell, crazy. I guess he got ready overnight. For all those stuck on Kevin said to feel stupid, do your homework. Report facts, not feelings. Yeah, I would like to see that article too. For all of the reports that he was not ready and was light years away because he couldn't put his pads on and a helmet straight and understand the play calls in the huddle. How did he get ready overnight? In 2 days he got ready? 2 whole days. Let me guess. They forced his hand. I need the answers, Miss Bell. Me and Miss Bell need answers. We need the answers. How did this happen? Deal Gray, all of the negative energy in the Browns locker room was started by Stefanski not being an honest and decisive leader at the beginning of camp. All he had to do was this. Guys, the Browns organization is super excited about Dillon Gabriel, super excited about Shedeur Sanders. They both bring some really nice different skill sets to the table, but all in all, we're excited to work with these young guys and get them ready. There's no timetable for when they play, but just understand we're doing the best to evaluate each of them and to develop them at their own pace. So, about a competition, we got 2 veterans. What we do is we got to get our guys, the rookies in here to see what they can do, but we're not going to throw out any game plans on who's in a pecking order. We got 4 quarterbacks in the room, but in terms of who's playing competition and all that, we're not going to do that. Easy money. Nobody, but you came out and said, we got a 4 quarterback competition. And then you got mad when people said, this ain't what you told us. Oh, you guys just calm down. Just sit down and relax. You guys are, no, the Browns did that, bro. Nobody told you to jump out here and start advertising that. Nobody even told you to do that. You put yourself in a predicament. D. Cowens, thank you so much for becoming a YouTube member. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you joining the club, man. Miss Bell, Flacco is out, and he's not hurt. Grow up. Stop it. Joseph Jack, thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you as well. Slowly leaving the booze behind. No more drunk talk. Listen, I think if you mentioned you talking about how sobering, we slowly getting out of silly season where we speculate whether Shedeur's a backup or we should be happy about, like, slowly but surely, we actually getting to watching the games on the field, right? Finding your 40. AE, thank you so much. Finding your 40. We are all on the same team. All we ask for is a fair shot. There you go. That's all we doing. All we doing is asking you to deliver on what you told us we was going to do. If it's a competition, let it be a fair one. If it's a competition, let people have the right opportunity or put them in a position to show what they can truly do. That's all we asking for. Is that too hard? Is that crazy? JMac_2Fresh, thank you so much for becoming a member. We appreciate you, my guy. Barry Hickerson, it's always been let your hard work studying and using your God-given abilities and talents to get on the field or the court. That's it. Put the work in, right? Trusting your ability, studying, and then seeing what you're worth. Barry, appreciate the super chat. This don't sound like a bunch of cult followers to me. I mean, it sounds like a bunch of people that's interested in finding the best man for the job. JMac underscore 2 fresh. Salute G Bush, aka Big Circus. You know I'm the 3-ring circus himself. The biggest circus. I mean, you're a clown. I know. Put some respect on the big circus. We got the Big Ten over here. We got the big circus over here. We got the elephants. We got a laser light show. We got a Michael Jackson impersonation show. Right in the middle. We selling convenient. We got, matter of fact, we opened our own Halloween store. Biggest circus in town. We got 3 or 4 tigers from Siegfried and Roy that was retired. They to the side. We got talk about the circus. You ain't never been in a circus like this. We used to have the Shriner Circus come to town. It was crazy back in the day. And I used to be grown. I used to be grown. And I used to freak out because I wanted to remember them swords, them little swords that came in those neon lights, and you would do it like this, and it would unpop like a cone, and it'd be like neon blue, orange, blue, yellow, green, and it would light up. Man, we used to go to this circus, and I never was allowed getting one of them. Man, tell me why I was scarred so much by that. It was funny. I got scarred so much that I was like 12 or 13. I was grown, dang near. And I was like, is it messed up that I kind of still want one of them swords? Is it messed up? I'm like, man, you need to do something. Robert Brown, thank you so much, my sir, for becoming a member. We appreciate you joining the team, joining the family over here. We appreciate you, man. Kurt Davis, my wife is finished with y'all bracelets. We shipping them off today, and they even made one for your wife. Thank you so much, Kurt, man. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Tell your wife I really appreciate time, energy, and effort she put into them. Thank you so much, and I appreciate the support that you guys bring, man. Antoine Sistrunk, thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you pulling up, man. Quiz Erm says exactly how Jason Lloyd played it, G. Bush. Shout out to Jason Lloyd. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody in UCSS, all my coworkers, all my people at 92.3 The Fan. We just chilling. William W. I cannot wait until 12 gets into the game and balls out, and you go on UCSS the next day and tell Dustin and Jay, I thought you guys said he wasn't ready. I try not to hit him with the I told you so stuff. Like today, I ain't do too much of a I told you so show. Man, this thing is more of a I'm trying to change the way we look at it. I'm trying to change the culture and how we doing it, man. I want sustained success. And if Shedeur can give me sustained success, pretty soon people will get on the bandwagon. They'll do their thing. Right? G. Bush with that spades hands. We got a Boston, and thanks for keeping it 100. That's why I love this show. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, my brother. What is he? Some people say spades. What is he talking about? He has a big joker. I thought he called himself the Big Circus. I don't know, honey. What's the little joker? I mean, is that is that the brother of the Big Joker? And what is this deuce he's talking about? Is it a peace sign? G holding it down on as always. Brothers got to work 2 times as hard for half as much. If you know, you know. Grandmas never lied to us growing up. Keep holding people accountable. You got to work extra. When you sleep, I got to be on. When you on vacation, I got to be working. When you thinking about buying your next car, I'm thinking about keeping these lights on. When you put out propaganda, I got to have a video to say you out of pocket. Clinton the one. Do Mary Kay truly believe Shedeur's superpowers is his elite accuracy? She said his accuracy is uncanny. What is she on, my G? It feels weird. Let me tell you this. Let me let you know something. You know what? Remember, if you know, you know. Put it to you like this: when people be pulling up and people be talking about certain things, it's undeniable at some point when people start removing pieces out of the way, you get an off ramp. At some point, when it looks like Shedeur Sanders is actually putting himself in position to play, it does you no good to continue to be the opposition group, right? It forces you to then have to come with the reality and then start doing some homework. Maybe she wasn't really well on that. Maybe she didn't go back and check it out at first. Maybe a lot of people going by what people is telling her. Maybe she pulled up and said, wow, this dude may actually be kind of good. You see what I'm saying? But you start to get a little bit of a fair shake when you look like you about to get on the field. Because now, obviously, somebody in the organization is saying, ooh, he might be able to play too. He had to show something in 2 days, right? Things are getting weirder by the day, electronic cornbread. It's gonna be it's gonna be stranger things when the 5th round pick starts a game. Until then, we keep cooking, G. Bush. I appreciate you as always. Hey, I ain't got nothing but time on my hand. Dillon Gabriel gonna get his runway. Just clear the runway and watch how things unfold. Careers are now on the line due to the media attention they created. Made by love. We appreciate you. Hey, it's, by the way, so we can all say this. I know it's kind of crazy to say the world gonna stop, but that first game Shedeur Sanders play might be the most watched game. I mean, I'm not gonna say in Browns history. That's crazy. I don't have those numbers, but it's gonna be the lead on every news channel, all the major ones, every single one of them. If it's at home, it's gonna be sold out. Trust and believe. Y'all let me know if y'all going too. I know some people that is saying, when he play, I'm there. That first game, I'm there. I'm pulling up immediately. Sinclair Jordan. What degree did Stefanski get from Penn? Look it up. Can we have our stat? Let me look at that. Let me see. Does anybody know that? Let me see. Playing on a freshman team. He was part of, as a freshman, they was undefeated. His dad was a senior advisor for the Pistons, and my brother just found that out the other day. We'll look that up. Charles T., thank you so much for becoming a member, my guy. Kirk_IRL. Hey, G. Bush, is there any chance you can add a call-in phone line to the barbershop? That's a very good question. You know, I thought about that. I did at one point in time have a call-in line, right? However, live calls are very risky, right? So if I had live callers, the issue would be that I couldn't screen those. So like at the radio station, when people call in, you can screen those calls, and we have somebody there that answers the calls. They say, hey, what's your name? Where you calling from? And what exactly do you want to talk about? And then they get, screened, they put them on the air, and then they get to talk with the host. Also, there's a 30-second delay. So anything that you say 30 seconds, Anything you say for 30 seconds is pretty much able to be dumped. So if you say a curse word or you say go on a rant or you do something, it doesn't go over the air, so you don't get FCC fined. So the dangerous part about having live phone callers is this. On YouTube, there's different certain rules and regulations. So if somebody calls and just wants to troll, right? They could come on and say the most egregious, crazy things, and then I would get a copyright strike on my channel. And then if I get 3 copyright strikes or warnings, they could take my whole channel. So it's almost like, yeah, you want to give people an opportunity and give them a platform to call and say things. But at the end of the day, it also gives people who are just out of pocket and just want to do stuff an opportunity to sabotage your work. So for me, for the call-in line, I think you would probably have to do more pre-recorded where somebody could call in and record a conversation, but then I would still have to do some editing with it and make sure that everything was clean and concise, which takes a lot of work on the back end. But I'm not opposed to trying to come up. Maybe it's something I add for members. Maybe it's something I add for enrichment. I'll put it out there and see if we can do something, but those are the reservations that people who do YouTube channels or live streams have with things being live, where you don't have real-time control over what people are saying, which could get you in trouble down the line. But good question, though. Sinclair Jordan, thank you so much for becoming a member. Uncle Kai says, I've been watching 2 and 12 for 4 years on the field and off the field. I've seen the dismal O-lines he was behind. None of the analysis can fool me. I know better. Uncle Kai, I'm with you. And you know, people always tell on themselves is when you ask them, did they watch him? Oh, no, I didn't watch him. I didn't watch him. You know, I didn't see him like that. I didn't see him like that. But there's the analysts that I'm not an analyst, but the people I trust. Trusting you with nothing, bro. What are you talking about? Like, people trust strangers nowadays, man. It'd be crazy. And they don't actually trust them. It's just fulfilling the narrative that they want to fulfill, so they just can say, I didn't take it out. TW, thank you for the super chat. Money situation. Okay. You don't want to make him quarterback 2. We will trade Joe Flacco. Get some wide receiver and build around this Sanders. Points wins the game. Facts. They're not, I think they took the piece off the table. They were just trying to do Joe a solid. Well, why did they trade Kenny Pickett? They was trying to do Kenny a solid. Well, Kenny's not starting in Las Vegas. Well, it was his hamstring. If you like somebody so much, why wouldn't you keep him on the roster and play him when he was healthy? He didn't tear his ACL. He pulled a hamstring. I don't know. Just cut Shedeur. Oh, goodness. Trade Owl says, I still believe Stefanski fears being wrong about Dylan Gabriel. Oh, that keeps him up at night a little bit. Keeps him up. I mean, to be fair, I don't know. I think I know what he is. But to be fair, I got to see him play over a sustained period of time to even make that evaluation. So I think that should be a very, how should I say it, healthy fear. Because we all don't know. Ms. Bell says, with the worst O-line, Shedeur Sanders would say, we have work to do. Like I said before in one of my joints, he gotta be getting with him now. He gotta have a game plan, because the reality is the same receivers that Dylan Gabriel gonna have, he gonna have. The same poor offensive line play, he gonna have. The same limitations with Kevin Stefanski's playbook, those are gonna be there. He has to figure out, how am I going to succeed where others fail with these same limitations? Stony QTT. G. Bush, check out Trinidad Shambliss from Ole Miss. Best quarterback in college. People scared to say it. I'm going to put his name down. You make it a list. I got to put his name down. I got to go check it out now. I'll come back and get back to you on that. Remember that name, Rosie. Because we got the receipts. Morning coffee. Did Bengals really call to trade for Shedeur and they said, take Joe? If this leaks are true, I'll be pissed. Right? I think the Cleveland Browns, they weren't trading Shedeur Sanders, period. They've been doing just like G. Bush doing. I ain't trading nobody. What you talking about? I'm not trading nobody. I respect you guys, but we're not trading. He's not for trade. He's not on the block. Why would I do that? I feel like it's a lottery ticket. Why would I? And as a businessman, why would Jimmy Haslam not be like, nah, if we got something right here, look all the money I already made. Let me elephant be in the room. The reason why Jimmy Haslam, just think if you just suspend all animation. If Shedeur Sanders is good and the Cleveland Browns are good, you almost are catapulted into one of the most popular teams in the NFL. And the Browns already have a fiercely loyal fan base, and we've been trashed for 40 years. Can you imagine if they're good and you got this amount of buzz? They would be on SportsCenter every day. They would be on Fox Sports every day. They would be on every blog every day. Win, lose, draw. If they are relevant and they are in contention in the AFC, they would. What do the season tickets look like? I know people just from being in this stratosphere right here. There are CU aunties and CU uncles and CU cousins and relatives everywhere that would literally be like, oh, I live in Atlanta and have season tickets. I live in Dallas and have season tickets. I don't know where y'all folks be working. I don't know what kind of job y'all got. Let me know on Indeed or Career Builder. But y'all cats, people in California, I got season tickets. It's people that getting that NFL Network, that package. There are people all over this country that will pull up just to see that. I ain't seen that before. Have not seen it. Have not seen it. Closest thing I seen it was LeBron James effect, where the Cavs was trash one day, got LeBron James, and all of a sudden every game was sold out. All of them. It was on TV every week. Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, Easter, every day. The Browns will have 10 primetime games. So I'm going to trade that, even if it not saying it's a guarantee, but I'm going to trade that to keep Joe Flacco? No, I'm not trading him. You just lost y'all's mind. Goldilocks Gaming. That not ready stuff is just ridiculous. They made sure he wasn't ready all camp. They just passed away all his reps in minicamp, preseason, the guys we don't have. Our quarterback is in 26, shaking my head. Goldilocks Gaming, you ain't never lied. He ain't ready, but you can't. The reverse gymnastics. He's not ready, but we're not ready to give him reps. Boy. Bro, did you see Grossy interview on the show? He looked like he wanted to cry. That made him the backup quarterback. Well, that's because I just never understood. If I was a political man or a betting man, if I was a beat reporter, I would play it right down the middle. Hey, look, they got Dylan right now. He's the quarterback. Let's see what he can do. Shedeur in the wings. Hey, listen. Hey, we're going to see what he's going to do. Play it down the middle. But when you play it the other way, now all of a sudden, we got to look at your resume and said, so you've been wrong 4 times in a row on Pickett, Flacco, Zappy. You've been wrong? And then you came out before Kev even said who was a quarterback, and you came out and you tripled down with the articles preempting that it was going to be Zappy and why it should be him, all to be like, dang, it is him at number 2. And it's just the backup quarterback position. You was crashing out just because you're the backup? They act like they named him the starter or the king in waiting or something, bro. That look on your face is you crashing out for no reason. You don't have to do it like that. But people be in their feelings. Q Dog. Appreciate the super chat, my guy. G Bush, I only found your show because I love Shedeur. I'm a 47-year-old Cowboys fan. No matter what, I will always support you. Keep spitting facts. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do. Because and really, you shouldn't let this get to you. But there's this thing where you get to a point. And if new people start to pick up on your content or they like what you're saying, sometimes the people that used to watch your content, they start to feel like, oh, you switched up. You pandering, you doing this, that, and the third. It's like once you get past a certain threshold, now it's like, oh, it's threatening. What is he talking about over there? He's losing his mind. And if you go back in through my timeline, what have the whole entire summer I lied about? What was I wrong about? About all of it. What tell me what I was wrong about. You can't. So when people say, oh man, you just doing that for clicks. Sometimes you do things and it resonates with people because it's authentic, it's truthful, and it's where I'm at. And to be truthful with it, be honest with you, I'm not a double down guy. If something happens or changes and I'm presented with new information as a thinking man, why should you be married to an opinion when you getting facts in front of your face today? What you don't need, we're in a double down universe where just your pride and ego is so high that you can't even understand and use the faculties God gave you to reason and to question and to observe, that you just got to double down and say, because I said it before, that I got to stand by. Listen, bro, if Dylan Gabriel come out here and he the next Steve Young, what am I going to say? Hate because I said I didn't in the beginning think he was good? No. But that's what I was saying. I would expect from rational people. But Q Dog, I appreciate you. Ain't Swan Clark, do you feel Stefanski has done a great job protecting Shedeur from all these false narratives about him? No. Actually, to be truthful, he has not done himself any use. All he has to do is come out and say, listen, there's a bunch of things about Shedeur. Let me tell you about Shedeur. Because sometimes it's okay to give people praise, and sometimes it's strategic. Hey, listen, I get it. There's been a lot of things said about Shedeur Sanders, whether it's some of the outside noise that comes with him. Let me just tell you, I've had an opportunity to spend some time with him over the summer and when he's in our program. One of the hardest working guys we got here. Love his personality. The team lights up. He's infectious. And most of all, he can play football. He's a good football player. That's why we drafted him. So, he dropped to the 5th round. Hey, I'm excited. That's their loss. We got a great football player in the 5th round, and you ain't never going to see me talk about that. We got a great football player. I'm excited for his development and his future. You say that? We're not talking about none of this. It's over. It's dead. It's done. Finished. Because you can't run with that. How can you run with that? Well, coach said he likes him and happy to have him here. But when all this stuff is swirling around and you don't say anything, you inadvertently create the circus that ends up swallowing you. When all you got to do is be a stand-up dude, you learn how to communicate. Be a master of communication. It works. Trust me. The age, written knowledge and written language really changed the game. Being able to talk to people really works. Armac Dog says, I think that Kevin should be held accountable for the team's failures and the outcomes of the season. We will be a referendum on whether Kevin gets fired. The good thing is Jim Schwartz is already in place. I do want to say that, Armac Dog. I hope Jim Schwartz is continued to be around. I hope he's still here, given the fact that, first of all, I even asked Bull and McNuggets. It might be a little too early. I won't even shortchange Kevin Stefanski. That's how fair I be with the game. Do I think Kevin Stefanski is a great play caller? No. But what am I going to give him an opportunity to call plays for two quarterbacks, different skill sets, and one of them I think that could be a franchise quarterback? Yeah. I don't want to fire you. I want you to prove either you right or you wrong. So I don't even want to talk about who the next coach is. I'm even willing to give Kevin Stefanski an opportunity to prove what he can do. What? Did G. Bush just say that? What? It's always been like that. I think I'm pretty consistent with it. Bradley Fox, G. Bush asked Jason next time if he finally leveled up from the golden knee pass to the platinum. He got wild work against Shedeur. Hey, man, maybe he'll come around. Might come around. But again, we're not super excited about things that we already knew. We all knew Shedeur could play football. Maybe he can win some other people over. Andre Terrain. Kevin Stefanski is the only current two-time coach of the year that's actually a bad thing. Reed, Harbaugh only have one and have multiple Super Bowls. Got to bring that to the surface, G. I think the reason why people bring that up is Coach of the Year is more to do with expectations. So he won one Coach of the Year, and I thought that was he should have won that one because of what the Browns did in terms of that year, beating the Steelers, Baker Mayfield. The Browns were on the rise. The second Coach of the Year he won was because of the way the season looked like it was going with Deshaun Watson getting hurt, 5 quarterbacks, and Joe Flacco catching fire at the end of the season. I think it was more of the expectation levels, but not really the coaching thing. So when you get 2 coaches a year, it's like Steve Nash getting 2 MVPs. There's this conundrum where you're just like, it's cognitive. You're like, Nash was good, but Kobe don't got 2 MVPs? Really? So Nash is better than... That's how you end up with that. So it's kind of the same thing with him and Andy Reid. LJ says, all we want to see is Shedeur throw to Jerry Jeudy. He got to know the whole playbook just for that. They're mad because we know he the only chance at a spark. I agree. I want to see what it looks like, period. I want to see what he looked like, period. Just a Girl 007. We appreciate you becoming a member. Barry Hickerson says, if you do dink and dunk, it should be setting up for the long ball. That's common sense. Tell him, G. Bush. I always say, Barry, you make your money 12 to 15 to 25 yards downfield. That's where the throws are made. That's when you make your money. Because that's how you get people off you. Made by Love. Someone in another chat from the prior video said we need to call Gabriel 3D. Dink and dump Dylan. I want to see. I want to see I want to see if that playbook evolves a little bit against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because right now, I think Kevin, this move and trades and all this stuff signify, I'm on the clock. I want to see if that pressure makes him open it up a little bit for Dylan Gabriel and Pittsburgh. I'll be interested to see that. Miss Bell 70 says a drunk man wouldn't have called to trade for Flacco without asking for Shedeur first. A lie don't care who tells it. Kevin Stefanski has had a host of them. I think they do a good job of clever misdirection. See, look at that. Look, it's a pink elephant over there. Don't pay attention to what I'm doing right here. We all got to where we are now. Control, Alt, Delete. Morning Coffee. Browns fans should feel sick that Shedeur is right there to lead y'all to a wild card spot, and y'all playing with a quarterback no team saw drafted. Hey, Morning Coffee, we here. We are here. He might yet have time to do that. We don't know what's going to happen. But here's what I do want. I do want to get the same level of runway that Dillon Gabriel got. What I want to ensure is, hey, we're going to make this thing a fair competition. I'm going to give Dillon Gabriel some time, see what he got. I'm going to see what you got. So when I take you out, if you don't get it done, I don't want to hear nothing else. We're going to sit back and we're going to watch and play the long game. Miss Bell 70 says Cleveland media or Kevin fans say Kool-Aid drinkers. Shout out to the Kool-Aid Mafia. If you know, you know. Neil Gray. Imagine how better Shedeur and Dillon would have been if Stefanski gave them all of those first team reps. Competition breeds success. Iron sharpens iron. I was advocating for that to start with. Just think about that. What if he would have been able to give them those reps? They would be in a different form right now. They would be a different comfort level like right now if they would have given them the opportunities. But that's water under the bridge. We are finally here, and the season starts this season. I plan on being locked and loaded. Matter of fact, make sure you check me out. I'll be at Sweetport Wilson's. Two brothers from St. Ignatius. Football players own a nice establishment, great barbecue, great food. Be down there watching the game. We'll do a post game from there. And by the way, I'll be leaving that post game. My post game for this game will be a little late. It'll probably be around, if it's a 1 o'clock game, it'll probably start around, I want to say 5:30 or 6. Make sure you check us out. I'll be ready to go. I'll put that up. So it'll be a little later because I got to finish a post game on site and come back. But don't forget, Barbershop will be ready to go as always. Kirk Davis, now that the nonsense of our quarterback and Zuni tweaks is done, we need to work on an offensive line in upcoming draft. And now the true quarterback competition is truly underway. There it is. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Exactly. By the way, we'll be watching offensive line too. We'll be watching that tape. Members, we will be doing that in the offseason. Offensive line play, who we need to be drafting. Leslie Rutherford. Wild to hear Stefanski say he's always thinking about the players. Kevin only thinks about his playbook because I watch a lot of football. The Browns are the only ones talking that putrid playbook. Facts. It's nasty work. I don't like it. I would rather do my taxes early. And my wife is an accountant. So imagine how much of a chore that would be. I hate it. I mean, it's like watching paint dry. Everett, a fan of greatness. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate you. Chantel, be out here gifting. You gifted one G Bush membership. We appreciate you. By the way, that works. If you gift a membership, it randomly goes to a person. I don't know who it is. It randomly gives access. They'll notify you via YouTube. So thank you so much for that gifted membership. J Mac, salute to G Bush, aka Big Circus. Thank you so much, my brother. We appreciate you. G Bush, you're cooking a smorgasbord combination buffet. We getting full and going to have it. I'm telling you, man. Reverend, we appreciate you, man. We trying to give you that variety. That's what we looking. Vernell Jackson, the players look miserable playing for Kevin Stefanski. Well, people be looking miserable when you be losing. When you start taking the L's, they start to add up and pile up on you. And that's the thing that starts to wear on the locker room. I see 8112. You think that Shedeur treatment has anything to do with Roger Goodell's nephew, Charlton Goodell, not going to Colorado with Prime when he just left JSU? No, I think it has more to do with the fact that Shedeur Sanders he's a lightning rod. When you already have the fame, that's why a lot of people don't get it. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people fight against NIL because NIL, name, image, and likeness, is like it already gives you the money. You already have the fame. You don't need to toe the line. you are outspoken. Like it's almost like you already unleashed, so to speak. So all of these things, when you ask, is this part of that? It's part of a lot of things. It's part of who he is. It's part of his personality. It's part of who his family is. It's part of his message that he preaches. It's part of people maybe not identify. He's a different generation. He has a different mindset. So all of those things play a little bit of a role, and why I think people are a little standoffish when it comes to him. Don DH says, G. Bush, my OU dude, give real fire why I joined. Give real fire why I joined. I'm trying to figure it out. She's saying why she joined. Let me know what that means. We get into the, but here's why you should join. Because we give you fire. Barry Hickerson. After every loss, all of us get caught with every word Kevin Stefanski press conference. Come on, bro. Got to do better. Got to coach him better. Got to be better. Neil Gray, losing expose your flaws and winning hides it. Kevin is not being exposed and being held accountable by the fans, media, even his own management. And you know how I feel about accountability. You know how it is. Everybody got to be accountable, but that's not it's not a punitive thing. It's just about being accountable. Makes you better. It gives you more insight. Gives you an opportunity to better, step your game up. Terry Green, Shedeur fans know that Dylan has skills, no hate. There it is. Now run tell that. What? A Shedeur Sanders fan says Dylan Gabriel can throw the football? You guys are funny. You guys are hilarious. Lawrence RBE, thank you so much for the super chat. I will say Jason Lloyd and Jay should know better than to parrot Coach Bozo talking points without seeing proof. I don't trust Coach Bozo with 12. Let him coach Dollar General and do silly offense. Shout out to Coach Stefanski, Jason and Jay too, man. Wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. But yeah, sometimes you can get some wrong information. Right? Turned out to be that they did have a little faith in him. Perry TD says, let's remember, Shedeur gave Cleveland the highest point game with 30 points this year, playing with his 1s and 2 teammates against the Carolina defense. Best offense I looked all year to me. Best it looked. Vertical routes, ball moving up and down the field. Say that twice. Well, I could say I could be petty for you. Hey, go ahead, be petty for me. I told you so. Hey, go ahead, Miss Bill. Hey, do your victory laps. Do your victory laps. You done took a lot. You deserve it. Scorpion season up. G. Bush, I found you looking for non-biased coverage of the Deshaun Watson situation. You want always to keep it a buck. Salute to you for doing for the real ones. We know Diggs been let it be known. Kevin, old junk is junk. Antoine Swisher, I appreciate you. See, that's this what I do it for people for. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people want to act like it's Johnny come lately. People want to act like, oh, I've been on this format doing this thing just since Shedeur got here. No, I've been telling the truth way back. I've been talking collusion way back. I'm like, bro, let me break down this court cases with Deshaun Watson way back. Like, we've been doing this. We've been standing on business a long time. I appreciate your comment, though, Antoine. I appreciate you been rocking with me that long, bro. Lawrence RB, nothing. Notice a huge difference in leadership in 12 has never dissed or taken a cheap shot at Dollar General. And he showed appreciation for his teammates. Dylan Gabriel, look, he never took no shots at Dylan Gabriel. He's always bigged up them. So that's why I be pushing back so tough when people start trying to talk about, oh, do you want him to get hurt? You better stop that. RDJ1S, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Mr. McCoop, Mr. D. Coopy. I'm probably screwing your screen name up, but I do appreciate you. I'm a Shedeur supporter. I stumble on your page and keep it. You keep it 100 every time. I'm tuned in. Salute my guy, BX New York, on the check-in. I appreciate you. Shout out to my man from the BX. Shout out to Goods. Goods to Animal, one of my guys. Shout out to Goods. I appreciate BX. You know what I'm saying? You're doing this thing out there. Slick walks. I see you. See you, Goods. Terry Green. Week 13, Cam Ward versus Shedeur Sanders is a ratings killer. Man. Hey, we gonna cook. We gonna be in here cooking that first game. Whatever what it is. That boy gonna be electric. Speaking of electric, let's talk about Electric Cornbread. Electric, he became a member. Electric Cornbread, thank you so much for becoming a member. Sarita Allen, what's up, G. Bush, here in Pittsburgh to watch the game. Die-hard Steeler fan who supports Shedeur. Boy, hey, Shedeur, boy, you got people. You got Steeler fans. You know how, Sarita, you in Steeler country. You know how hard it is to get somebody in Steeler country that say they working with the Browns and she proud? Man, this dude got one of the craziest fan bases I ever seen. I tried to tell him, I ain't seen nothing like that. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate you. Antoine Swisher. 12 played well with the twos and they sabotage him with the club bouncers and gas station attendants and let Hundley finish the fourth quarter drive. Winston and Ken cooked up. Kevin lacks modern creativity, wasted reps in camp for no reason. If I could play an air horn, Dom DeMarco, I would give you a Dom DeMarco for that. I mean, that's all facts. That's all facts. Janita, all we want is a fair competition. By the way, you told me I should call you a nickname. What is her nickname? We got to write this down. Huh? Nita? Nita. That's what we say. Just call me Nita. There you go. See how my wife she be keeping me together. She be keeping me together. Thank you for that. She told me just to call her. We're going to remember that. Nita says, all we want is a fair competition and we wasted it on business until we get it. Dylan and Shedeur are ballers. Let's watch 12 come out on top. We appreciate you, Nita. We appreciate you. See, we got to log that away. By the way, if I'm destroying your screen name, you let me know. We want to get your name correct. I believe in that. God Music, my guy. Quarterbacks in 26. Ha! The Panthers game with Shedeur's NFL Truth. They straight capping. Emmanuel Johnson. Browns probably see what we see in Shedeur. Had a trash offensive line in college, but still had success in the NFL. The right coach, the attention, he fits to be a problem for opposing defenses in the NFL. And I actually think when he get a game plan, think about it. He looked like he excited just to even be part of a game plan. Man, look, man, I'm just happy they got linemen up here. I was throwing to the trash cans. He looked like man, let me get one of them game plans. I'm good. Joseph Jack. If 12 was not ready, why was he the emergency quarterback? Narrative ball. Come on, man. Just straight release him. Guess you read the room wrong. Steven, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you see a scenario where Shedeur saves Kevin's job? Not what I want, not that I want it saved. We need a better offensive mind. Oh, that's why I've been trying to tell Kevin Stefanski for the longest time. Yes. If you would just understand how this works, if Shedeur Sanders is good, there are people waiting to give you the credit for it, Kevin. Waiting. Please. Not that I think he's a great play caller, but of course he could. Because when Shedeur is throwing for touchdowns and doing stuff and making plays, they're not going to say Stephen Stefanski's playbook is trash. Because the results is going to be in real life. How are you going to say the playbook is trash when you got 3 touchdowns or you putting 30 points on the board? See how this works? Just don't work against yourself, Kevin. Booney's so random. Way to stand on business, G. Bush, about this narrative, Shedeur not being ready. Jason and other dudes saying what they heard. You came back with what you heard from trustworthy teammates. And it looks like those teammates might have been actually truthful. I don't really play the source game very often, because I like to stand on my own too. But don't get it twisted. You can't talk spicy like this and not have people reach out and say, hey, boy, you was on one the other day. Let me tell you what I know. And I got to put it to you like this. These ain't dudes running on kickoff. No disrespect to the special teams. This ain't the punter or the kicker. It's not the third string running backs. If you know, you know. I'm just saying. Let me get through my super chat. Let me get through my super. This why you can't do nothing, G. But you play too much. Kevin is not in 12's corner. Who in that building is in 12's corner? Someone has to be in his corner for him to have a fair opportunity. Well, somebody in his corner for them to trade Joe Flacco. I'll say that. Somebody in his corner for them to be like, no, we're not going to do the Bailey Zappi thing. The tides have changed. 3D Dink and Dunk Dylan. Clint, you funny. Y'all cats is funny. Emmanuel Johnson, Browns front office probably see what we see in Shedeur, trash offensive line, but still has success in the NFL and right coaching and intention. He isn't to be a problem. We appreciate you. Charles T says, Browns want us to believe that 2 years of Sanders in a Power 5 and a first-round grade was all fake creation in the NCAA NFL to humble a guy that can't play. He is so behind. That narrative always got me. He's so behind. First of all, if you're not watching no tape, I can't take you serious when you talk about he's so behind. You explain to me what so behind is, please. Can you explain to me? Don't tell me nothing about breaking the huddle. Don't say nothing about commanding the huddle. The verbiage. Don't tell me nothing. I need to know documentation. I need to know specifically what the progression is at quarterback for you to even come at that level. I don't think you got that. Next super chat. I'm sorry. Browns and Jason and Didi and Grocery too. I'm sorry. We are Charles T. We're sorry. We're sorry. Listen. Hey, it turns out he wasn't as bad as you might have thought. At least he is working on his way to get an opportunity. This is no victory lap. I mean, no one's is excited jumping up and down. I told you. And that ain't what this about. We ain't got no time for that, bro. We trying to win. We trying to see them on the field. We trying to see guys. We want competition. We ain't talking about the rest of this stuff. Yoshi Doshi, I think Barry may be coming into his own. I think Andrew Barry started to hear. Every time they mentioned somebody had to go, he was the first one on the train. When it was Deshaun Watson who picked him, it was Andrew Barry, even though everybody was on the record saying that everybody was in lockstep with the Deshaun Watson decision. But then all of a sudden, when everything went bad, it was let's unmarry ourselves to that. It was Andrew Barry. When he talked about the draft class, it was Andrew Barry. When it talked about we ain't got no talent, it was Andrew Berry. Until Andrew Berry said, oh, y'all trying to get me up out of here? I got Judkins. Okay. I got Schlesinger. Okay. I got Fannin. Okay. This is best draft class. The best players half the best players on your team is these rookies. So automatically, he got the King's ear a little bit better. And he did draft Shedeur Sanders. So if Shedeur start balling, that's why I never understood it. Let him. If Shedeur balls, Kevin Stefanski and Barry will be here. They can write their own contract. We need to learn from Kyron Lacey how lies and slander can destroy a young man's dream. It's shameful what they are doing to doing to Shedeur. You know, the great thing about it is, Sarita, and they do, there's been some ups and downs, but I think Shedeur will learn from the ups and downs. I think Shedeur is actually prospering from the ups and downs. I think he has now gained a level of maturity and a level of realization of what it is out here, and everything ain't great. Not that he didn't know that, but when you go through those things, it makes you a stronger person. It makes you a more, it just enriches you. You go through the fire. And so now when he does play well, or, you know, gets on the football field and he does perform, nobody can take nothing away from him. Nobody can say, oh, he was given everything or he didn't earn it. Nah, you're going to have to you have to just turn around and say, look, you know what? I was wrong about him. Same way Dillon Gabriel has the opportunity to do too. So that's all it is. Masai, if I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Jackson and Scatterboo being praised for moxie and confidence, even official NFL Twitter for the same thing Shedeur is vilified for. But I think that's changing. Jay did say something on the show yesterday. Well, maybe if Scatterboo and Jackson Dart are the way they playing, maybe we got that here. You don't know until you put them out there. You don't know. Sterling Guest, thank you so much for becoming a member. Strazi Turner, thank you. We appreciate you, my guy, as always. J-Mac Too Fresh. Incoming coach next season will be Byron Leftwich. Watch the CU Prime effect. Shout out to Byron Leftwich. Played him against him in college at the Marshall. One of the best quarterbacks we've seen in the MAC. He was nice, super nice. King says, G. Bush, Stefanski has communications degree, no grad school, played DB in college. So where is the play calling guru talking from? Well, look, sometimes people give you titles you don't really deserve. I wouldn't call him no guru. Again, echo chamber. People start giving you nicknames and it sticks. But the thing about nicknames, even those you got to stand on. Pretty soon you got to prove it. Alpha J. I'm anticipating your exclusive interview with Colin Kaepernick. It will open eyes and be box office. Hey, tell Colin Kaepernick to give me a call. I'll interview him. Cap, let me know. Get him on the phone. Smell-O-Vision TV. I watched both Cam and Shedeur at Washington State. I met Cam. I appreciate it. That's going to be a great game. Going to be a great game when we get to that point. Varian Brandon. And I hate how they're going to compare him to Jackson Dart without considering Jackson Dart has gotten first-round treatment and practice for 5 months and not for nothing. I hate Mary Kay Cabot's hand and finger movements. Shout out to Mary Kay. You was like, man, the hand movements is getting you. Like, you could tell, like, you listen, it'll be okay. You'll be all right. I promise you. Guys are going to be watching. Now, look. Now, see, here's the thing. When things start moving in the way they're supposed to move, now things aren't weird. You'll start to see more sensible takes. you'll start to see people have to come to the realization, I might want to cover this the right way. And you'll start to notice that you'll even be dialed in more on the games than what anybody is saying. You're going to notice a level of focus because you're going to be watching pinpoint every single thing that happened with Stefanski, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders from now on. And it won't have nothing to do with narratives. Because Shedeur has already circled the wagon. He already circled the wagon and said, no. Don't worry about that. I'm not doing that. Nope. He buttoned up. He's no fool. He's not gonna give him nothing, no clickbait, no none of that. So now we're gonna be tuned into the games that much stronger because now we have something to look forward to. Marvin Legits or Legits, either or. I appreciate you, man. Let me know if I'm spelling your name right. I'm a Giants fan, and I wanted 12 to be in blue. Dillon will play well, but 12 will bring you a ring. We appreciate you. Boy, you got some loyal fans. Trazi Turner, super sticker, thank you so much. J Mac Fresh, 12 ran the same office at Colorado, just different terminology. Pro ready. All that conversation about not knowing nothing, stop. Come on. He know. Electronic cornbread. My theory after the Rams preseason game, everybody was like, what the you know what? Plans changed. Kenny and Joe became training wheels for the coaching staff to accept that they were so behind. Is that crazy? I think after the Rams game, they used that as something to put Shedeur on the back burner. I think people know how difficult it is to go out there and perform. And again, do I think Shedeur played a magnificent game? Do I think he played great? No. Like I said at the time, the main thing I want him to work on is not running sideways and backwards, but understanding that your line might not be what it is, and we got to get rid of this football and figure out that timing mechanism where you understand, all right, I'm going to live to fight another day. I don't got to do it all in one day, right? So that's what I wanted him to do. But I do think the game plan changed after that, and they moved to Flacco because, they was like, okay, this is how we going to move. Von Randall, keep running those Bostons. Love it, G. Bush. Thank you so much for your super chat. I'm glad you caught that reference. Sapper Daddy, thank you so much. You're way too kind. That he's not ready needs to learn the playbook narrative has always been BS. Football has always been BS. Football is a game of concepts, instincts, and the concept aspects is all about the pattern recognition that build up over years of play time. So how is he behind with a Hall of Fame father? You mentioned a great point, and I want to kind of end on this note. You bring a great perspective to what it is. The way you learn the game of football is based on recognition of what they're doing, and every week they're going to be doing something different. And you diagnose what somebody's trying to do defensively and figure out a way to attack that within the scheme that your coach is calling, right? And it's almost being like a pitcher. It's knowing what each batter is up there, what his strengths and weaknesses are, and what are you going to do to try to manipulate and get batters out. And for him, that is what he needs to do as a quarterback. All this learning jargon, that is jargon. I'm going to be honest. That's jargon for people that simply don't understand the game at a high enough technical level to articulate what it's about. So the jargon kind of takes over for that. And it's no problem with that, but it doesn't give a complete picture as to what are you talking about. He's not ready. Nobody is ready. Every game is a ready. You could be ready for last week, but this week the test and the answers and the questions change every single week. So it's about building up your ability to play on the fly, play on the run, and have answers for questions that you don't know are coming. Barry Hickerson, Just listen to my boy G. Bush and watch the national media's narratives. Facts all day. Oh, they about to switch, though. Oh, they're switching. Watch how seasoned people get. Watch how all of that slander stop. They about to transition over because they looking for the off-ramp. That you know he's going to play. So why are you going to be taking these bullets? Don't be taking the shots. Like, you're going to have to cover him, so we got to walk that back. Stapper Daddy. Appreciate you, my man. It's like recognizing cover 4, but understanding that based upon the field positions down and distant and time management situation, it could just be cover 4 shell with the split man and robber safety to take away the short read and force them. See, you talking heavy right now. You talking heavy. We ain't even talked about no cover shells. We ain't talking about showing one thing and moving to another. We ain't talking about that yet. We ain't even there. See, you can actually make up defenses on the fly. Ain't just, you can change up. Well, you can run a combination of cover 6, a combination of cover 2, and man coverage. You can do a lot of different things. There is no such thing as ready. Sandra N. 12's been surrounded by pros, including his dad, all his life. No one prepared him for the NFL. He was prepared. He just fit into Kevin's system. It has been a great conversation. What I want to do is I want to get back to the fact that the Browns got a game coming up. We're going to watch it. We're going to see what Kevin Stefanski is going to do. If you want to be involved in the membership, you know how to get it. Hit the like button, hit the join button, and become a member today. And we will be back with you. Remember, be a little later, about 5:36. Look for the notification. Browns Steelers post-game show right here on the Barbershop. And if you don't know, now you know. With that being said, you never know where G. Bush might show up: radio, television, internet. But if you want the fresh take on sports, you know G. Bush keep the Clippers with him. Have a great rest of your evening and your weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, go Browns.